Are you sick of your job? Do you want to quit your job? I know a lot of people have been talking to me about becoming financially free so they can quit their jobs. Well, today we're going to talk to somebody who's figured out a way to quit your job and to really find freedom. And today we're going to talk about how to use stock options to find financial freedom. But I got a special guest. So it's not just me. We had to bring on an expert. I'm kind of an expert, but I haven't been doing a whole lot of stock market trades, let alone option trades in a while. So, like I said, I don't mind bringing on the experts because it's not about me. It's about us and how we can grow together. But without further ado, I wanted to bring on Dr. Chastity Sandage, who does a lot of things, but she has started to kind of reignite my flame in options and options trading. Now, y'all know I usually only like to talk about beginner stock things on the Finance Rebel show. But I wanted to talk about this because my son sent me a video. I know a lot of y'all have seen it, and I figured it'd be good to break it down and really get to the nitty gritty about what it is and what it ain't. All right. So without further ado, I want to bring on Dr. Chaz. Dr. Chaz, how are you, man? Got you on mute. Dr. Chaz, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right, gotta give you the horns. So welcome. So I call you the queen of options, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Chaz loves her options, teaches people options, but she also works a 9-to-5 job as well. So a lot of times what she's talking about is basic everyday trades, low-level trades that people can use to generate income so they can then get out of their job, get out of their misery, so to speak, because so many people are miserable at working. I personally say use your job for financial freedom. A lot of people just want to quit and run away real quick, but I wanted to start showing them some other options that they can get into. But can you just tell people why options, how you got here, and what exactly you do?
Yeah, so I started out in medicine. I've always wanted to help people. So I was in pharmacy. I started seeing people come across my timeline making money from their phone. So I'm interested in it, but I'm always like, okay, this is a scam. These people are setting other people up. I really just started kind of like Facebook stalking them to see what was options, what is this trading, what are these apps that they're using. And once I got behind it, I found Diamond Dave, who was like one of my first teachers, got his course, and I learned from him one on one. And that was
Shout out to
very,
Diamond Dave.
yeah,
Gotta give
he
him a
was
shout out.
very essential in my learning process. And he didn't teach me day trading, but he taught me how to swing trade very well. So once you have that in your background, in your footing, it made day trading easier for me. And I found my own lane. That's really what you want to do when you get into any of these markets, anything. You want to trade, you want to do real estate, land flipping, all of that. You have to find your own, what you resonate with and what works well for you. So once I got that, I got the juice and I was like, I want to, I want to trade daily. I want to see this daily return, but I don't want to give it back every day.
Right.
I put my head down, learned, took the course from him, started following a lot more other traders and coaches. And that's really what just got my footing because I was like, I want to do it faster. I want to do it better. What they're telling us is great, but I don't think it takes anybody 6 months to be in a course to start making money. And I think that just strings people along. Um,
Mm,
it's not motivating. Show me today how I can make some money tomorrow, and then let's go back test it. That's the important part. I can show you
mm,
how to put the trade in and we take it. And then like now let's go after school and do homework and break down that trade. Once you further understand it, it made it like so much easier to make money. My students started to learn better. And I was just like, this is what I'm gonna do. I showed my best friend. I was like, dude, I found something. We're gonna make some money. And she's like, all right, I'm listening. And I showed her in like a month, she had like 2 bands. And I was
nice.
okay, I think we're on to something. And we steady working together. She's studying on her off time. I'm studying on mine. I'm 3 in the morning listening to calls. I'm traveling over the road, listening to people podcasts and things like that, and just going down the rabbit hole and learning. And I was like, okay, I can mesh this up, take all the fluff out, and this is what it is. Like I got step by step, and this is what I'm gonna keep doing, and I'm gonna keep rinsing and repeating. I'm gonna just do it over and over again, and that's how I learned. Like that kind of came from my medical background. Show me, demonstrate it, and then I'm gonna show you how to do it, and that I got it, and that's how I know I got it. I'm gonna show you. You teach it back to me, and I know you got it. And
Gotcha.
that was it. It just kept clicking for me. So I'm always open. Like I'm in everybody's class, whether it's an intro or advanced
Mm,
class. I'll have people tell me, Chaz, look, you signed up. This is not for you. And I'm like, why? And they're like, dude, this is way more advanced. But you never know what
what
that
you can learn.
is. If I get one inkling, just one little piece of information that's different from what I heard, it was worth it for me. I'm always there listening to people, signing up, looking at charts. It's making it easier for people to do. And it's like I want to get out that rat race. That was the first thing is as a kid, I was like, I want to make money. I want to
Mm,
be wealthy. This is what my family has already taught me. You go to college. I got sent through that whole thing. You make good grades, you go to school, you have a career, you get a house, you get married. That's what you're supposed to do. And once COVID hit, I started seeing people say, well, that's not what you have to do. You didn't have to go to college. There's another way. There are other ways to make money, but I was only put on that one educational path. So when I saw this, I was like, that's going to be my way. I don't have to work 60 to 60 to get this possible social security and retirement. I can make the money now. And then again, you can go down a rabbit hole. We got drip, we got dividends. How I can really make this really work for me on a long term. So
right.
that's what it was. And you just need to talk to somebody that looks like you or, sounds like you. And it makes it easier than you looking at some screen at some 60-year-old person. You're like, I'm not where they're at. They're a millionaire. I want to look at somebody regular. Like I'm literally sitting in my office where I work, and I have a screen for my work, and I have a screen for the stock market. You can do them at the same time. You can like that's what keeps you out. Like I just told my group, the game is rigged for us not to be in it because the market is open from 8:30 to 3 Central Time. You work a 9 to 5. They already making sure you never get this money because you're going to be at work. So,
But
what you think?
listen, you can swing trade, right? You don't have to be in front of the screen all day, every day, right? And so for those who are new here, again, I'm Kamari, right? Former institutional money manager, former financial advisor, current tax accountant. So you're right. You can make money so different ways. It's crazy, right? There are no limits. The only limits are the ones that are in your head. But then I hear a lot of anti-job like slander sometimes, and I look at it and it's like, listen, you got to do what you got to do for the position that you are in at that time. But I don't want to give you my thoughts on stuff, right? I do want to ask you a question. You helped your friend $2,000. You don't make $2,000. Did he break you off some?
Me and this friend, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh
I go
damn.
back and forth at home, and she bought a brand new house, and she allowed me and my wife to stay there. Most of the
Oh, hold on. That's better than the 2 grand.
Yeah, so this is not a
Shout
friendship
out to that
about
friend.
money. This is a friendship that has been going since we were in high school.
But
So
that
we
ain't a
know,
friendship. That's
yeah,
family. Y'all family.
that's my family. So
Yeah,
like this
yeah,
is
I
the
love it.
person we go to the bar, we running up a tab, and most of your friends try to dip before they pay the bill. We run into the bar like, do not swipe her card. Don't
Right.
swipe her card. We are trying to beat each other there. So the
Yeah.
money that gets made and put back is
It don't matter.
no.
It's just, yeah, it's part of the
I
game.
mean,
I
that's
got
dinners, that's gas on the road. Like we always front each other. So the money we making is just for us to keep building.
you. That's dope. Now I want to get into this clip real quick that my son sent me. So my son sent me a clip and he was like, look at it and don't tell me what you think you want me to hear and yada yada yada. He didn't want me to be a dad. But I'm always gonna be dad. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna try a different approach. I'll get an expert on to talk about it because a man can't be a prophet in his own home. So I went and got Dr. Chaz and I said, all right, well, let's talk about this real quick. But real quick, Doc, why are you a doctor? You like out here laying hands on people? You doing surgery? Why they
No,
call you Dr.
I
Chaz?
never really wanted to touch people. I always wanted to help people. So I have a PharmD in pharmacy, and
Oh,
that's my background. Like helping people, medication therapy, and things like that.
so you're a real live drug dealer and stock trader on the side.
I'm the plug.
All right. I love it. I love it. All right. So I want to throw this TikTok video my son sent me. My son loves TikTok. It's all good. But this is one that I got my thoughts on it, but I wanted to get Dr. Chaz on it because they're talking about options, especially puts, But let's run it.
Well, now's your chance. I'm all hands on deck with this. I'll probably do like a $100, $200, $300 put for the year. So if you're about your money.
So real quick, and I don't want to steal Dr. Jazz's thunder. A lot of people think you need a whole lot of money to trade options. You don't. I will share this point. Probably my most successful trades have been from options. I bought what's called some leaps and forward a couple of years ago. I think I spent $65, and maybe a year later, less than a year later, I made about $1,000 from it. I think it was something like that. It was something crazy. So there's all different kinds of way to do it.
Money. Let's unpack this. Wow, Amazon has created a huge opportunity for everyone who is paying attention. Listen closely. This video is not to be taken lightly, like this is serious. So, listen closely and share this message. This isn't financial advice, but if you're a good listener, you probably want to do this.
Now, anytime somebody says this isn't financial advice, put your antennas up, be on guard.
And this is for educational purposes only. Run that video. Comment below. Money hack.
And I get nothing out of it. So if you don't want to make money, fuck off. This shit right here is the death of the auto industry. And I've been waiting for a fucking long time for this news. For it to be real, at least. Okay? Now, Amazon announced one manufacturer. There's a reason for that. They know if they announce multiple manufacturers, Congress will come in and say, fuck you, Amazon. You're not increasing your monopoly. But by doing one, it's not that big of a deal. Then they can add more. Then they can add more. Then they can add more. And they can do it until they have so much market share, they fuck everyone. And they're going to leave a couple manufacturers out, of course, so they don't become a monopoly. That's not the fucking big deal here. The big deal here is, who does this hurt? CarMax and Carvana. That's right. CarMax and Carvana are going to get hurt over the long term. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to invest in puts on Carvana and CarMax. Well, puts are things that option contracts to bet against the stock. So the lower it goes, the more money you make.
So I want to stop it right there. Dr. Chaz, this is where I'm going to lean on you. What are you thinking about what he said so far?
Well, his breakdown, he could have been a little bit clearer with stock options. So the options are a derivative of those companies, and you're not necessarily betting against the company. You can decide to put for puts, you are. But if the company's going up, we're going to get calls. If the company's going down, we're going to get puts, and we're going to make money whichever direction the company goes in. So he just needs to that's a little clarify I want to do there. If you're trading options, not just a direct hit to the company.
Okay.
With Amazon, Carvana, I looked into this. I looked at the setup. Nobody's there yet for the options. So a lot of people can get caught up in a hype, and it's like the new J's coming out. But if they're an ugly pair of J's and nobody wants them, like, it's not gonna sell. So if Carvana sells off but nobody wants to buy it, those contracts are gonna sit there and become priceless. So you kind of got to get the public into it and look at them. There's things called volume and open interest. So when I took a look, nobody's really there yet on the long term. But it's a long term play. This is something we'll keep on watch.
All right, don't give them too much. Not yet. Let's get to the whole clip, because again, part of this is I'm doing this for my son as well. So I want him to understand, because I know he's going to be like, open interest, volume. What are you talking about? But we'll definitely get to that. We'll definitely get to that. All right, so let's keep. Oops, that was my mistake.
And you want to look for puts a year from now, and you want to fucking do something.
And puts a year from now are also considered leaps, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Crazy shit. I'm talking for there to be a 30% drop. If you don't understand what I'm saying, find someone who knows about stocks and give them this video and tell them to interpret it for you. You will all be fucking rich. It's the easiest money that's ever been fucking made ever. You ever heard of The Big Short? This is gonna be fucking worse. And they're going to sit there and be like, oh, this is going to destroy jobs. No, it's going to make jobs for Amazon. There's going to be no more commissioned salespeople. for fucking new cars. They're gonna get flat fucking money. You're gonna get a salary, bitch, and you're gonna have to deal with it. There's so much going on here and so many different ways to make money. I'm so excited. This is a layup, and it's gonna cost you.
The guy's kind of entertaining now. I mean, I will give him that. What do you think?
It's funny. I mean, I could deal without some of the answers, but I get the picture.
Right.
Almost fucking nothing to make a real fucking profit. I was looking at some options. Let me tell you some shit. You can fucking buy a year out of CarMax, right? For the stock to drop like 30%. And as you get closer, you get more money, right? To buy 100 shares, which is one contract. I was looking at the shit. It looked like it was going for like $2. Your max loss is $91. You stand to gain $5,100.
You want to step in for a minute, Doc? You think there's more clarity needed there?
You can keep going. He's good.
Easy fucking bread, bitch. I'm waiting for this day for 7.
Yeah, I thought it was close to the end because he gave something a little bit advanced, so he's probably using one like the a Weeble tool where you can put the contract in and it spits out a probability, but it can accommodate for anything that happens, such as earnings. Other things affect those contracts. So that was just the day that was made. So that was about like 15 days ago.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks ago, yeah.
The cost of those contracts, and he said roughly 30%. So you'd have to go in, look at the current price of that stock, take 30% off, and then go look at those puts. I like to set up. I don't. For a beginner, I don't think that's the first trade you need to be jumping into. It's very risky. It takes more research and time than the average person is going to put in, because you're going to want to you're going to have to look at those things that I just mentioned: open interest, volume, earnings, how that's going to affect these companies. I would take the safe road. Who's going to do well? Hyundai and Amazon. Why wouldn't I just get calls on Amazon?
And calls again are help people make money when the stock is going up. Right.
So if this is going to make great money for Amazon, I invest in a company that's going to be around here longer than the one that has a shorter time period on it. That he's looking for it to go bankrupt or, just sell to pennies. Well, at least 30%. That's what he's going for. So instead of me waiting on them on their downfall, why don't I just go with the company that can go on the rise? I would probably invest more into probably hold shares on Amazon, as well as doing contracts on calls on Amazon.
Now, can you back up again? I want you to explain options trading really briefly. I mean, I know it's a whole universe in and of itself, but just for the person who has no idea what options trading is, all they know is stock. Can you just give them a quick breakdown on that?
The simple way to put it is you can think about a company everybody knows. Apple owns iPhones. So if I wanted to invest in Apple, I could buy a whole share of Apple. Apple is at about like 190 right now. So if it moves up or down, that's all you're going to get. Options trading allows you to kind of leverage the share price to make money. So as it moves up a couple of cents, I make dollars on that. So one contract controls 100 shares of Apple. So instead of me just moving cents, I'm moving $5 to $10 per contract. So one contract gives you a control over 100 shares. So it's like a case of water. If I break that case up, I make more water, but if I just sell the whole case, I'm moving more and more money. So instead of me just having a whole case would be a whole share of Apple, now I got contracts and I can either execute. Most option traders do not execute on a contract, and that's again a little more deep dive. But if you got big money and you get Apple at 200 and Apple soars 250 to 300, you may want to execute that contract and have multiple shares and give those to your children, things like that. So again, one, you need to know what you're doing with your options. Is this long term? Is this short term? Is it going to be income? Is this going towards your children? Or you want to make money on a day-to-day. So you can look at leaps. That's money you're not looking to get immediately. Day trading, you want the money now. Swing trading, you want to give it a little bit of time. So those are the kind of two buckets you want to be in. It also goes about how much funds you got. The shorter time contracts are going to be less expensive than those leap contracts. So if you managing a little bit of money, you may want to do smaller trades over a longer period of time to build that up to get into swing trades and leap trades. So you kind of grow, you take your steps. You don't start out in the Mercedes. You might get you, a Toyota or a Hoopty, then go to a used car, then new car. It takes steps.
So if you really think you're not really into the long term trading, you want to do more mid to maybe short term trading, you can use options instead of buying the actual stock. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes, and I also use that as the vehicle. So once I make money on that company, then I go put that money to buy the shares. So I just like to recycle and bring it in. So I use money that I bonuses, side hustle money, money that gets donated, any of that money that does not come from my 9 to 5, I put that in the stock market and I recycle it. Once I get profits, then I go get shares. So my portfolio is usually green because I've gotten free shares from the company or whatever brokerage I'm using, and then I reinvest. You can Again, I'm not trying to go too deep, but there's drip, so I can reinvest dividends back into those companies and let them pay me out. So you just have, again, main thing is game plan. Everything you do is about the game plan. Do I need money every day? Do I want money for next year? Like I've been teaching my students right now, hey, we can get these trades back in October and November, and they're going to pay for your Christmas presents because they're going to mature by Christmas. You sit this money over here. Don't come in here trying to trade every day and give it back. Just let the contract grow and then get the money, put it to the side. Now you got money for the long term. I trade January to August because August is a big month. That's my daughter's birthday, my birthday, my wife's birthday. So
Oh, y'all partying.
yeah, so it's big. We cruising, partying. I got a quinceañera to do. So these are my goals. So when I get after everybody's back in school in August and September, I'm trying to ramp up because what are my people's biggest bills? They're trying to pay the mortgage, rent, and Christmas present. That's all it's gonna be. It don't even matter.
Don't
That's
forget about car note now.
huh?
Don't forget about the car note now.
Man, they're gonna park another car behind it. Like I know my people, they're gonna park it sideways in the garage. They might skip that car note, but they're gonna make sure they keep a roof over their head and the kids are happy.
That's
So
true.
I try to find things that's gonna help them. Like if we can't quit today, we can at least bring more income into your household.
Mm. So when we look at an options contract, right? Premium. A lot of people don't understand what premium is. Can you break that down for people?
So premium is the value of the contract at that time, and I like to get people in the mindset of a hot potato. So some people think the longer I keep it, the higher to go, the more value to be. But it has an expiration. We have time decay. So as I have this contract, once it hits its potential that it could be, and I like to exit at 30%, like dirty 30, and they do go a lot higher than that. But once we hit our peak point, we want to get off that potato and give it to somebody else so they can ride with it. Once we make our money, we want to get off of it. So that's the value inside of the premium. That's going to be your cost, and you want to get in on the premium pretty much
Now,
at the
hold on, Dr. Jazz. When you say the premium is their cost, so they got to pay money for this, right?
yeah. So I have one contract. Think of it as a coupon. I got a coupon for the J's that come out on Friday. They're going to be $200. I know that. Well, let's say Jordan does the exclusive and signs on it. So the value has gone up. So my contract value goes up. So now the Jays, when they come out on Friday, they're not going to be 200, they're going to be 250. But I already got my coupon in this hand for 200. But since they're going to be 250, the value of my coupon has gone up. So now I can either keep my coupon and get the Jays on Friday for 200 or sell it to somebody else for 250 and they get the coupon to go buy them on Friday for 200. Well, let's say somebody else comes in and the value by Tuesday, the hype is gone up. Now the shoes are going to be 300 when they drop. Well,
Right.
now my 200 coupon is now worth $300, but I can get it for 200. So you're looking for that person that wants to buy your coupon. So I can either execute my contract at 200 or sell it for the 3. You want to get in at the prime time on purchasing contracts and sell it to the next person. Most people say sucker, but it's not a sucker. Everybody wins. I don't need you to lose. We can buy the same contracts. And that's the beauty of it. If I say, let's buy Nike $90 call and five of us buys it, none of us lose money from each other if the call goes up. So if it goes up, we buy it for the $90 call for $50 and it goes up to $100 and we all sell it. We all made $50. Nobody took from each other.
Right. Plus, you don't know what that other person on the other side of the trade strategy is.
Right.
They might want to buy those Nike stock shares because they're thinking about retiring in 10, 20 years and they think it's a great price now. And you
Right.
own it. So I hear a lot of people say it's a zero-sum game. There's always a sucker on the other end of the trade, all of those things. But I loved how you just illustrated that.
Yeah, it's not a sucker because both people have different goals in mind. If we're all sitting at the same round table and the five of us take the trade and we want to sell it, again, us five don't lose anything to the five people that bought it. That contract could, what if the contract goes up another 50 or $50? So now
Mhm.
who's the sucker? The person who just bought it or the person who sold it? So that's why I was like, I don't like to say sucker. It's just an opportunity. I have the opportunity in my hand. I'm gonna give that opportunity to somebody else once I sell it.
Gotcha. 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 No, I get it. I get it. Now I'm looking at Carvana.
Hmm.
And I got the chart up here. And I'm looking at it monthly, and I think I'm going to share it. What do you think? Let's share it a little bit.
I had
Uh,
what's CVNA?
yeah. So let's share it a little bit, just so we can talk about it. So I have my candlesticks up. Some people don't understand candles. Just think that the green candles are when the stock's going up. The red candles are when the stock is going down. And I think this was announced. Oh, I'm way back. Jeez. I'm way back. I think this was announced in like October. And we had a down month. But now it looks like it's starting to rebound a little bit. So he did say 30% over a year from now, though, right?
Right.
So what would you be looking at to say, I want to see it set up? I think this is a good entry point.
Well, I just put it up, and my first thing would be their 52-week low and high.
Okay.
Their 52-week high is $57.19. Their 52-week low is $3.62. Very big gap. Also, on this year, they were maxed out at about 337, and they've sold down quite a bit. Also on this chart, you see those E's, those are earnings.
Yep.
That's what I would want to listen to that call. So you're allowed to listen to, this is public knowledge. They're a publicly traded company. So the information that comes out, we are privy to it. So I'd want to see if they address this in guidance. I'd want to see if this affects profit margins because Amazon announced it, but you also want to hear Amazon say, have they sold a car yet? Like this is all in theory. Have they sold a car? How many car sales come out? These are the things that you need to pay attention to. If
Hmm.
Amazon doesn't sell a car next year, this doesn't affect Carvana yet or CarMax.
Right.
So this is when they draw in retailers like us, retail traders, and get us trapped into a position too
Suckered
early.
in. Suckered in.
We're gonna get suckered into this put way too early where this may not play out for another year or two. So this
Mhm.
again, while being in a part of a community, a trading community, and then doing your own research. If you go to TikTok and you just throw your money in on trades on TikTok, just give it to me. I'll drop my cash app. You can send it to me. I'll send you 20% every month. Send me $100. I'll send you 20% because that's all you looking to get. Because
Right.
your money is going to depreciate when you're not inside of a community or you don't know the research to do for this type of play setup. It's not the GameStop, and that's kind of set you up. Oh, it's just going to run up. One, you're waiting on the demise of a company, and they already know that. So, what's the company supposed to do? I'm always going to be working toward doing better for my company, so they're already going to work against you. So
Mhm.
you're going to be more red than you are green until the play is set up. So it's a little early. Also, Amazon is doing Hyundais. Those it's not the best car. I would like to see them get two more brands and at least one more dependable brand. But
Well,
people,
Hyundai's are dependable, but I get what you're saying, right? You're saying like they need more variety
yeah,
if they're selling these vehicles with their huge platform, right? I mean, I
right.
think that's what you're really getting at.
Yeah. So this is only going to be profitable. I mean, they could sell an item if they only sell, I say 1,000 cars. Does this drive revenue versus an item that they sell and they sell 10,000 of those? So
Mm.
you you look at the cost value of this company and their e-commerce. Does this really affect them? How will it really change? When is that really going to set up? So in theory, oh yeah, Carvana's already trash. CarMax is already trash. Like it doesn't take much more to put them in the ground, but they could get bought out. They could go bankrupt. Those are other factors that you know nothing about. That most the average person knows nothing about. They already been bottom dollar. Like look at you. You see this chart. They've just sewn down. Like they're struggling right now. So to come back down, like what? Yeah, what's that bottom number there?
That is 543. Wait a minute, that's not the bottom number though.
That's close enough. $5 from like what 30 right now. They're at 38. So you look at
355 is the bottom number.
30% in a year. We'd be looking at contracts at maybe what, for $12 down, so it's like $26. That's
Mm.
not horrible, but pull up the option chain.
Can you not pull that up from Trading View?
Hmm. Oh, I thought you was on y'all. Sorry, I just looked at the bottom. No,
Nope,
it
I
was
can
it
do
was
that. I can
on
switch
Yahoo.
gears though. Give me 1 second. I can switch gears because I forgot the option chain is on Yahoo. Real quick, can you explain to everybody what the option chain is?
So the option chain is like the market or like Amazon. If I'm looking to go buy something on Amazon, I can look at it and go see what it costs day over day. And this is your shopping catalog. And you can look at any publicly traded company and then put up the option contracts. Then there are several contracts that the market makers put on the chain. So I need to go and find that option chain to be able to purchase a contract. So this is how I do research to find a profitable contract way further out or short term trade. So this is like our little playbook. So you want to look at the option chains. They're free. You're able to look them up here. You don't have to be inside a broker. So this is what we're looking for. You're going to be able to see calls and puts.
Hold on,
Um,
now, Jazz. She just dropped the gem. I don't know if y'all realize that, but again, you don't need a broker to see the options chain. So a lot of times people get intimidated and they won't start the steps because they're like, well, which broker should I get? Doesn't really matter in the
right.
beginning, right? What matters is just being able to execute it. But you can start looking at this. You can start practicing. You can start understanding what she's talking about. But go ahead, Dr. Chaz. I'm
Yahoo
sorry.
Finance, if you spend just 30 minutes on Yahoo Finance, reading articles, getting familiar with news and data, and see how it affects companies, it really prepares you to be able to start to take or to trade options here. But if, Kamari, if you could click on the calendar, up at the top where it says December 8th.
Oh,
So
done.
those are our option chain contracts. If
How
it,
far you want to go out?
we're going to go January 25.
17 or 16. Oh, 25. There we go. Oh, look at that strike price.
All right. So we're going out to January of 2025 and we're looking for a dip. So like I said, $26. So let's scroll down into puts and we're going to start what we consider in the money, which is right where they're at right now, and then we'll look at that. Now if they
When
drop
you say in the money, you want to be close to the price Carvana is trading at right this moment, right?
right at this moment.
Okay.
So before you go, since you stop right here,
Mhm.
I said earlier in the call, volume and open interest. Look at that OI on that dollar contract. That's a lot of people.
Mhm.
Now this is gutter for me. I'm I'm not a gutter trader.
All
Um,
right, break it down for everybody. I don't understand the lingo.
right. So this is bottom feeding. When you get down here in these contracts, they're cheap. This is going to go over your head a little bit, so play it back a few times. When you look on here, it gives you a strike price. That strike price is $1. So that is saying that Carvana stock price will go to $1, and at the last price that this contract was purchased was 0.11. So that looks like 11 cents. But remember, I said each contract gives you control of 100 shares. So you need to move that decimal two places to the right, or think about it in dollars. So that's a $11 contract. So for me to control 100 shares at $100 strike is going to cost me $11. That's
Mm.
cheap. If you want to come in here with $200 or $300 with those $11 contracts, you can. I'm not. Uh, it's risky. It's long. But there are a couple of people out here that think they could go back to $1. Now remember, I said there's a 52-week low and high. Their 52-week low has been $3. So I wouldn't want to go lower than they've been before at their worst. So this is just not to say these contracts won't make money. They just won't make money in my portfolio.
The way you see the worldview of
Right.
things.
This is
Yeah.
this is slow money. So we're gonna go closer to in the money, which is gonna be blue, right at what the share price is right now. So
And the share price right now is, dang it, hold on,
38.
38. Okay.
Then we'll scroll back down. And again,
30, 35. You got a
yeah.
37.50 and a 40.
So look how expensive these are for this
Mhm.
far out.
So
So
again, to buy in the money, this $40 contract, you have to buy, you're buying 100 shares, right?
you get control of 100 shares.
Thank you for the correction. That is
Control.
very, very, very important.
So I have
So,
control.
right. So to get control, you're buying control over 100 shares at $40 per share. So 40 times 100 will equal the amount of this contract, correct?
Correct.
And that's $4,000. I hope I'm not messing up the math.
So you're looking at the contract. So this would be, oh, you mean the cost of the shares?
No, the cost of the contract.
No, the contract is the last price here, so that'll be 1,600.
Oh, right.
Right next to the 40, the 16.00.
Yes, the ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just looking at last price, so you can do bid or ask, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just right there. So I prefer, and this is going to be a gem here. I prefer not to trade a contract that has volume and open interest less than 1,000. I do give grace for my leap contracts, which this would be a leap contract. So, but when I say grace, I need at least 500. I need to see a lot of people around here. So at this strike, unless I just had a lot of money sitting around, I wouldn't take this strike. It's fairly expensive for the time. Even if we go down to his 30% from the strike price right now at about 26, so we'd be in between 25 and 26 on a put. Go up, sorry.
Mm,
Back up and then go to 26, 27, 25, 27.
25, 27, yeah.
Yeah. So see, you got about 1,000 in OI on the 25, but only 8 people there. It's just not for the cost to sit here 720. He told us that on the 11th these were $200, so now they're 700. But let's take this one step, and I don't know what strike. He just said buy puts. They were $2. He didn't give us an expiration date, so those are some things you would not know from that time period. But let's just do a hypothetical at this strike. Kamari, click on the hyperlink next to the 40.
Well, you know what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking he's probably talking about the cheapest contract that's out there that's a leap, a year or more. And he's just saying buy those.
And
That's an assumption for everybody.
yeah, see, I'm assuming he was looking for his 30% loss on the company from that
Mm,
day, possibly. Scroll, you hit the wrong hyperlink.
oh,
Go
sorry.
back one more and hit that contract. Go back to 40.
40, the one furthest to the right, to the
Yeah,
left.
that one. And then we're going to scroll up when we get there. A lot of people don't use this. Again, there's a lot of tools on here that you can use that are very profitable. right here. It acts funky when you're screen sharing, so you need to be right there. Click on the map it the chart is showing. Go up to the chart and hit 1 month. See if it pops up for us. And if it doesn't, hit full screen. Oh, there we go. We might get a little action. Okay. Turn that where you see max, hit the button next to the max and put candles. And it's not gonna they're spotty.
Right,
He
because there's a lot of thin trading. It's not a
Yeah,
lot of activity in there.
that's the thing too. So he's not looking at these contracts, but I wanted to see what they were before. So just click one of yeah. This one may be a little funky. The calendar view, we want to go back a little more because he was in that was November 16th. So right about there. So if we can go back to November, and do we even have any action? Yeah, so these contracts have sold down. They're more profitable now than when he did the video. So if they had already gotten in, they're in the negative. So this is why I say research is very important. You don't want to hop on a hype train. You need to know again, there's a lot of details. He didn't give us a strike. He did not give us an expiration date. So if you just went out here and Carvana and you saw that trade, you didn't know how you were buying contract, didn't know what brokerage to get on, you don't really know how to follow it. So it really take getting some education. Don't just blindly follow people on TikTok. Do a consultation with somebody, or find somebody reputable. Not just I don't even know what the guy had on his shirt, but um, like he said, go show this to an option trader. That was the best line he could have said was to take the video and to show it to somebody who's an expert in options to give you help. So your son was smart to send it to you to get an idea. Will this make him rich? I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a magic ball. The only thing I can tell you for sure is what SPY will do or what SPY may do. As
Now,
far
why SPY? SPY is your favorite contract to trade
yeah,
or
so
invest in.
SPY is the S&P 500, and only a lot of those companies are not fully profitable, but they're the highly weighted companies are the ones that you mostly see. You're going to see Tesla, you're going to see Amazon, you're going to see Apple in there, the Microsoft, Google, Amazon. So those are going to be in the S&P. So instead of me following each one of them and trying to trade them, I just trade the one. And so I trade SPY on a daily, and I have a strategy for SPY. I used to have a trifecta to trade Tesla because Tesla was moving nicely for everybody during COVID, and everybody wanted to trade it. And Ford was following it. Now Ford's kind of a dumpster dive. I don't teach people Ford anymore, but I do teach SPY.
Listen, stop hating on my Ford.
I'm not hating. I still
I'm
own.
playing. I'm playing. I
I'm
don't
ready to get off
listen.
of it.
I'm agnostic, meaning I don't care.
Yeah,
It's I only want to get what the players and people who have been following me for a while. I talked about Ford when it was like $4, right? I said I'm buying Ford to let y'all know I don't do it often when I tell y'all what I'm doing, but I did that, and everybody I know is very happy with me to this day.
good.
So
When I taught it, everybody made money and it was easy. Before it was like pennies on the dollar for contract. And if I give you an $8, $12 contract and it goes up to $20 and you bought 10, like you're good. It doesn't matter.
over,
People
right?
think they have to trade Tesla. I have to trade Amazon. You don't. You can trade a company that's a smaller cap, doesn't move very fast, but still makes you money. And that's what
Mhm.
I found when I was trading for and what made it easy. I'm like, I can make $50. And it was like a day, and I didn't do much. I wasn't stressed. And then I come over here and trade SPY, and I'm like, whoa, is Jerome Powell gonna speak today, or are they going to war? It's just different things you have to assess when you're trading SPY. But I still
But
love
wait, but wait a minute. Like, if you could you just tell us what you would kind of tell a beginner getting into this? Right, they're still working their job. They want to find another way to make some income. What would you tell them? Like, what are some of the bare bone basic things you would teach them to do?
No, the basic thing that I've been taught, which I would start out with, if you know nothing about options, you know nothing about the stock market, start taking 20 to 30 minutes probably in the morning and in the evening, to look at Yahoo Finance, CSNBC, some of the stock trading. Don't listen exactly to what they're saying. Look at what's going across on the ticker, because that's real information. The people you see on the screen are paid to say whatever they're saying. So that's not the main importance. But to get your understanding and vocabulary familiar with the terms of the stock market. So start reading the articles, looking at some will be paid, where you have to get a paid subscription, but you can get behind those. And some of the articles will be free. So just start to get the terminology, start to find stocks that you enjoy. I've heard a lot of people say trade companies you have in your house that you see. You can do that, or you can really sit down and get a game plan. Like, I know, like Nike, if you wear Nikes, if you're going to buy the Nikes every time they come out, Nike should be a company that you trade or invest in. So that's a big one. Procter and Gamble, Kroger, some of those, they're kind of slower traded companies. So, think about that. Just start to look at certain companies and then put money aside. Like I said, I don't trade money that I'm not trading my mortgage money. I trade extra money. So if
Hold
you
on, hold on, hold on. Gotta do this. Can you say that one more time, please?
do
Please.
not trade your rent money, do not trade your phone bill, do not trade your groceries, do not trade your college, your kids' tuition money. That's not what this is for.
And
You
why do you say that?
Because the market will feed off your fear. The market will eat you alive. So you're trading in distress that I have to make a return on this money. So every time you lose, it's like twice as hard because you have to come ahead of the loss and then to a profit. So let's make it easy. You trade $100 that was for your phone bill. You
You
go
lose 100.
and you lose 100. So now for you to be in profit, you have to put more money back in. You have to gain the 100 you lost, then gain another 100. So this is why I teach a small percentage. If you have $100, you should not risk or trade more than 50%, and that's very risky. I tell most people 30%. That way, if you lose 30%, you still have 70% to trade. Now you need to cut that back. I need to go 10%, 10%, 10%, and I can get $10 here, $15 here, and I'm only down $30. But if you trade the whole thing in one whop, you're done. You got to go reload your account. You've blown your account. I've
But wait a
blown.
minute. What about people who say that ain't no money? It's gonna take me forever to get there.
Don't trade.
That's it.
I have no workaround the person that does not see this as growth, but taking the time. If you don't, the options is not for you. Go on and give your money to the Forex crew or something, but you're still gonna have risk. Take your time. When you first got on your job, you did not start making the money that you make now. When you first started, you didn't know how to do everything they taught you unless you were an expert. So it does take time. So I tell people be patient and look at percentages versus the dollar amount. If I take $100 and I trade with 10 and I get 50%, yeah, it's only $5, but that was 50%. How many actions can you take from your home, from your bed, from your couch and make 50% return? How many actions? And safe. Now everybody can go be the corner boy, and I'm the plug, but that's risk and safety. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to have a client. You don't have to have a product. You don't need to make any phone calls. You need internet, your brain, and a strategy. You don't have to talk to anybody else. You go put your head down, pick a contract, watch it, take profit, move on. I give you simple rules to follow. It's the same rules you follow in the street. Like you don't go on certain color, certain neighborhoods with certain colors on because you know that. So if I
Don't
give
get
you
out on your own supply.
right. So if I give you rules of how to handle yourself in the stock market, handle it the same way you handle yourself on the street in the neighborhood you don't know. You're not gonna run up on, the biggest person in the hood and act stupid. So that's the same measure you're gonna handle yourself in the stock market. I give you all the rules, follow the rules, and you're done. So I just say, I even told a person that wasn't really ready to trade and they didn't have the funds, put $25 to $50 away for a couple of weeks, then come back and talk to me. Because if you can't do that, trading is going to be hard because one, this is going to teach you discipline because you're putting the money to the side. You didn't win or lose or anything, and you're not using money that you're going to miss. That's what I always tell my clients. Do not come in here thinking I'm giving you trades, to come up with the end of the money. That trading under stress is just not profitable. Again, I wanted to purchase a house. I have not used any money for my home in the stock market, but the stock market paid for my wedding, my honeymoon, my down payment on my home, the
And I'm
down
guessing your
payment.
honeymoon wasn't just to the corner days in.
No, we were on the beach in Miami, next to the Forbes Hotel, whatever that big hotel is. It was I don't know, but yeah. So it wasn't tiny. I've taken several trips, and the stock market pays for it. But I am very strategic about it. I was on a cruise. I was on my vacation making money. I was like, oh, this money, and I showed it. I made $57, and it was like $60 for us to go kiss with the dolphins. That money that I made literally while I'm in the car paid for the adventure I was about to have on land. Like, where else can you do that? Like, I'm still having fun. I'm still enjoying myself. I've gotten way more time back with my family. I mean, I used to work at CVS, and I would work 12 to 14-hour shifts. And when my daughter was younger, like less than 5, every CVS she drove by, because I was at work so much, she was like, she's at work. Chastity's at work. Like, I'm at work so much, every CVS, she think that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. You pull up, you see me, I come home, I'm tired. Like, this allowed me so much freedom to like rearrange my schedule, take on a different career paths, make extra money. So this has been phenomenal. I've been able to teach students as young as 13, as old as 65. So, you know, the
Okay.
the leverage that you have when it comes to offers is to options is phenomenal. But again, get you a mentor, start learning the language. If you want to take the YouTube route, start there, but don't end there. Can people be successful trading just by looking at YouTube videos? Yes. But I also want to take the time to think about, do this for them. If you work a 9 to 5, write down how much you make per hour. Then I want you to calculate how much time you would spend on YouTube to learn on average what you think it would take. I would say maybe 5 hours a week if you invest. So I'll say, we'll just keep it mean. Like, if you make $20, I'm not gonna say you make the most. You may make less. You may make more. If you make $20 an hour, you take 5 hours a week to watch YouTube. It's $100 that you spent that week to learn. So you got another week. Now we're at $200. Now, if you spend that whole month, just 1 hour, 5 hours, a week, you spent $400 to watch YouTube. Not, and that's it for you to learn. Now, you may or may not have a strategy. You may have gone down a rabbit hole. You can't talk to any of the people. You could leave a message in the comments, and they may respond back to you. But you've spent, on average, maybe $400 of your time from yourself to let YouTube teach you. Or you can get a mentor or a course and pay that money with something that has been proven, and have somebody you can reach out to and talk to. Or pay somebody like me. I can specifically show you where you have the problem. One, I'm gonna show you what to do. First, you learn how to trade. Then you implement how to trade. Then you have questions. So that's where that comes back. So take the time, look at it. Is it more cost efficient for me to try to learn myself, or do I just buckle down and learn from someone who's has a proven strategy that I can implement?
Okay. Now I want to ask you something before I'm gonna get you out of here because I know it's getting late. Emotions. A lot of times I don't like promoting options trading, day trading, forex, all the other stuff, because a lot of times you need to have good emotional control, good emotional IQ to do some of these things. And I know you're going to say just follow the instructions, but how do you help people get a better handle on their emotions?
This takes time. This is going to be the longest part and the most time telling, because it's psychological. If you already have issues, this isn't going to make it better. It may even make it worse. But my strategy is, I play, and again, it could be different for everybody, but I play high intensity games that are time controlled, and you have to do something very quick. So your stress level may go up or down. I also do different stationary techniques with rubber bands or I'll set a timer. I'm only going to look at this for this amount of time, and then I'm gonna walk away if I'm in the trade or not and put a stop loss. I also follow my instructions. Again, it's not just simple as instructions, but if you have a hard time sticking to a task, then you'll be great with what we call stop losses. So a stop loss is like your seatbelt. So it prevents you from going through the windshield when you crash. That's exactly what your stock loss is in the stock market. So if you buy one contract and it's $50 and you were wrong on your analysis or something changed, you can put a stop in place to say, I only want to lose $10 and I'm good if it goes up $10 or $15. So I can put a stop in place where my money will go in. I'll buy the contract for 50. If it drops down to 40, it will automatically sell my contract and I'm out the trade. I'm in control and I've only lost $10. So that is one of the main reasons why I use Weeble versus Robinhood or any other factors. You can put that in place and that gets you out of your own way. Again, it prevents the crash. Like you'll go, but it's going to turn around. It's going to do right. I know I was right. When you trade in the stock market, it is never about being right. This is like science. We are proving a hypothesis. I have a hypothesis that Apple will hit 200 before the end of the year. My hypothesis is either going to be right or wrong. I'm going to risk a certain amount of money, put a stop on it, and put a take profit on it. Either it's going to go there or it's not. If I'm wrong in the short amount of time, I'm only risking a small percentage, maybe 10%, to get me into the trade, and it's going to get me out of the trade. One of the two things is going to happen, but I'm not proving that I'm right. I'm proving the hypothesis for the company because I don't control the company. I don't
Right.
control anything that goes on with Apple. So you can't have a come to I pray for my contracts. This ain't it. This is not, I love everybody's faith, but prayer is not for option.
So
If
you
that
mean prayer and the zodiac and
and the moon,
the almanac don't
all
matter when it comes to the markets?
it does not. You just
Mm.
need to be either you're right or you're wrong and take it. So most people, I mean, it works for a lot of people. I find more accomplishment in younger people because they're risk takers, but they follow directions.
And they haven't been ingrained with so much
Yeah.
institutional
They
nonsense.
haven't
I get
been
it.
tarnished or read anything wrong or gone down the YouTube rabbit hole too far. Older clients that have traded all together, all they know is I got the fib, I got the Bollinger Band, I got the
But the
snake.
RSI, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's your room rate? I don't know. What you do
Run
to
rate means how much money you got to lose.
yeah, how much money have you gained or lost over the year? How are you effective in trading? No. Why not? I don't know. Okay. I know you don't know because you're here with me. So now we're gonna help, but understanding where you have a problem, using those skills, and not trying to be right. This isn't not the and I guess that's me and my personality. I don't have to be right and I don't have to be flashy or showcase. I don't want to be, and no shade to any of these people. Like the big traders that I see on YouTube, like Aristotle, I don't want to be in front of people. Like I want to help regular people and I want to make money and I want to be able to go on vacation when I please. I don't want to be stopped in front of people. The flash is for some people, but it's just not for me. I like helping
So
people. And I like,
we can't do no day trading live.
oh yeah, we can day trade live, but I mean, like, I'm not out here like I'm not gonna ever. If I get a Lambo, you'll never see a problem.
I know that's right.
It's
I'm the
it's
same
just
way.
not.
I'm the same way. I feel you. I understand. I'm just joking around.
So you will see my house, and it's a modest house because it's what I wanted. I really, when you start to make money and see that money is infinite, you start to realize that material things are not that important. And again, I want freedom. I'm chasing the financial freedom. It's beyond things. Like I could leave this house if I could. I would leave everything in the home I'm in right now and go to the new house and just slowly buy new stuff if it was okay. I just want to be in a space of freedom. And that's a place that I don't think you get fulfillment until you really realize that you can pull money out of thin air.
Well,
When I
Dr.
started,
Jazz, I think. Oh,
like,
good. I'm sorry.
say it again.
No, I said I'll cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that was something new to me. Like and when I started trading with other people and they are up all night, and I'm like, why don't y'all sleep? Like y'all are my Discord is going off at 2 or 3 in the morning. That's like there's no point in dreaming. Like when their dreams are reality, sleep isn't, peace, they're up, they're making more money. Their dreams are reality. So most people go to their dreams to get that futuristic thing. They're not doing it anymore. And I was like, wow, yep, I'm still going to my dreams trying to rob that bank and bring it back. I don't know if anybody ever done that, but you go to your dream and you think like if I rob this bank, I can take it back when I wake up, or I can have this big house or the fancy car. But now I'm getting the things in my reality. So I'm happy when I'm awake. I'm very productive. I want to be productive. And options have given me that. Like I take vacations. I'm at my daughter's dance. I'm able to travel and see my family. And that's very important to me. Those are times I can't get back. That time freedom, you can't pay for it. Like I can't get more.
All
So
right, perfect. Well, thank you, Doc. I appreciate you being here. Tell everybody where they can find you at.
you can find me on Facebook. Chastity Sandage is my name, and there's a picture of my consultation in the background. You can find me on YouTube at KBDB Consults. You can also find me on IG at Dr. Chaz or at Know Better Do Better Consulting. Kamari can put up a link, but you
I
can
will.
reach me, um, pretty much anywhere. You can send him a message; he'll get you over to me. If you ever
I
want to
will.
talk, we can get a free consultation going. But I'm here. I teach one-on-one. This is, for anybody. If you just want to learn, if you just want to ask questions, we can do a free consult. I will be out for vacation for a little while, but my calendar is always open. And like I
Yeah,
said, options is a great opportunity, but it may or may not be for you. So always ask. Don't feel like you're pressured to purchase anybody's program, especially in 9 to 5. Like I said, we got day trading, swing trading, or leaps. There are different options, but you got to know what works best for you. Don't just purchase something. And I never want to sell anybody anything that just doesn't benefit them, and they feel like, man, I bought this and I can't do nothing with it. Yeah.
right.
Speak
It
to me.
makes sense.
We can always talk, and I'm available. I'm a real person.
Well, thank you, Dr. Chaz. I appreciate you. Listen, I have paid for consultations with Dr. Chaz because I'm starting to ramp back up and get back into these markets and get my freedom, y'all. So, again, I thank you all for joining us. And Dr. Chaz, will you come back for more?
Oh yeah.
All right. So
If
look
you
out for some
need
more.
to do another TikTok, let's go.
All right. Look out for some more TikTok, Instagram, or just basic option reviews coming soon. If y'all want to hear more about that, let us know in the chat. Until the next time, Kamari Ellis out. Be sure to like, comment, and share, and I'll see you all soon. So long.